Developing a clear awareness of the non-existent sounds and concepts within a learner's native language, in contrast to the English phonetic system, is the missing piece. The deep conceptual understanding of the basic phonetic rules of the target language is essential to develop a learner's creative construction process and resolve the obscurities between the two completely different languages. A single English word, as a microcosm, perfectly demonstrates the direct relationship between forms and their meanings in the English language. Under the Korean vowel sounds system, for example, there's no distinction between the English short vowel A and E sound, as in the word pan and pen. With regard to the English short vowel A sound, all Koreans have absolutely no awareness of its very existence to begin with. This is another perfect case of the form and the intended meaning in the English language are often non-existent in a learner's native language at this absolute basic level. Feeling caught off guard, some educators choose to be dismissive of the distinction between these two vowel sounds. One Korean scholar retorted that these two words, pan and pen, need to be understood in context, and rigid pronunciation correction is not necessary because it decreases learners' motivation. She added that native speakers will also eventually figure out which word was intended in a real situation. Does this mean the word pen would never be found in the kitchen? How long will non-native educators continue to encourage their learners to count on native speakers' speculation rather than providing the most basic English phonetic rules to learners? Does this also mean learners don't need to properly distinguish and pronounce all the English words that contain the short vowel A sound? Do you know what other subtle sounds that individual learners are unable to identify in English? It's entirely irrational to encourage students to acquire something that doesn't exist naturally and spontaneously without acute awareness and clarifying the direct causes of obscurity due to their native language. As the sequence of my machine learning publications indicates, starting with the collocations, the sentence confidence books, then finally the English sounds mastering program. I have finally come to realize that the fundamental reason for Asian learners' struggles. It lies in their inability to clarify the non-existent sounds and phonetic concepts essential to produce proper basic English sounds. Proper basic English sounds are the crux of English language proficiency. I have already mentioned from my other videos, over the last 20 years, among scholars, educators, and learners I have met both in Asian countries and learners in the US. Almost all of them were not able to clearly distinguish exactly how many English vowel sounds exist. The fact that they don't know exactly what the English vowel sounds are indicates they don't understand the concept of syllable and stress nor its significance. In the Korean language, there are 21 vowels and 19 consonants, and each Korean vowel and consonant has its own specific sound with no phonetic exceptions and spelling irregularities. Because of the remarkable regularity of the Korean phonetic system, the concept that 5 English vowels produce many different sounds is mind-boggling, among other things. For instance, the single vowel A alone has 2 different sounds that are spelled in 7 different ways, such as cat, cake, hay, hay, rain, rain, and straight. I'm actually suggesting you, both non-native speaking educators and learners, search for the entire English vowel sounds on your own instead of automatically assuming you already know. In this presentation, for the first time, I'm keeping the numbers of English vowel sounds undisclosed to make a point. It's not as simple and clear to find, especially how many English vowel sounds exist, as you might think. It directly points to the tendency to disregard the values of the forms and the fundamental unawareness among educators and learners that has been perpetuated. Out of the question mark English vowel sounds, the short vowel E sound is the only similar vowel sound, and the rest of the question mark vowel sounds don't exist in the Korean phonetic system. There are also no English consonant sounds such as F, V, L, R, Y, Z, WH, and TH in the Korean language. So 28 out of the 64 English consonant sounds just don't exist, including the consonant blends. Let me elaborate more how form directly represents its meaning in the English phonetic system. English is a stress-based language, and this means in an English word, only a specific syllable, a vowel sound, receives stress, which is higher, louder, and longer tension. And the location of stress also determines a different meaning as well. Even one-syllable English words receive stress right in the very beginning part of the word, while one of the specific vowel sounds receives primary stress in multisyllabic words. In this sentence, today was recorded as a record high temperature. The word recorded receives a stronger stress on the second syllable, but the word record high receives a stronger stress on the first syllable. Depending on which syllable receives stress, the vowel sounds and the meanings also change in these English words like present, present, addict, addict, permit, permit, conduct, conduct, and so on. On the other hand, the Korean language has no concept of stress. A number of vowel sounds constitute the concept of syllables in all languages. A learner must know what the exact English vowel sounds are in order to understand the concept of stress. The English vowel sounds actually account for not only the dialects in the regions of East, West, Midwest in the United States, but also the variations amongst Canadian, British, Australian, New Zealand, and South African English. Whatever the variations may be, the concept of syllable, a set of question mark English vowel sounds, precisely determine their meanings. Whatever type of English anyone wishes to speak, a learner must clearly know a set of question mark English vowel sounds in order to achieve English language proficiency. I conducted fieldwork at a prestigious university in Korea, November 2018. It was expected, yet still alarming, when a Korean professor, who completed his English education doctoral degree at Oxford University, guessed that the English word strange had 3 syllables. Most notably, a group of his students from several different Asian countries at the university were not able to auditorily recognize nor pronounce one-syllable words. Although they were recognized as proficient English speakers, none of them were able to read out loud confidently a few sets of words that include multisyllabic words such as norm, normal, normality, normalize, and abnormality. When a learner struggles to confidently recognize or pronounce one vowel or syllable sound, how does anyone expect he or she to proficiently pronounce or understand multisyllabic words with many different vowel sounds, even in a single word? However, many non-native speaking educators and their learners often question the significance of the concept of syllable and stress. They overtly argue that English must be learned naturally, indicating their preference to imitate the sounds of random words. Asian learners, both those who live in the Asian countries and in the English speaking countries, are not able to spontaneously communicate in English proficiently, simply from listening to English podcasts, TV shows, and dramas over and over again. At Korean universities, students are still continuously encouraged to simulate role plays by repeatedly memorizing sentences from books or short movie clips available online by their educators. The crucial key to achieve English language proficiency hinges on developing clear awareness of the non-existent sounds and concepts within a learner's native language in connection with the English phonetic system. Asian learners should no longer suffer from the extensive and debilitating effects of unresolved sources of obscurity. The missing piece sets Asian learners free from rigorous memorization and surface imitation, the vicious cycle of fruitless and demoralizing results.